So we have an issue. Today's video is going to be getting in the stirrups from the ground, but she's had 2 days off, and she's definitely showing she's had 2 days off, so we're not going to be doing that. Now, you know my flag that's right here.
What I was explaining her is that my flag that's right here on the fence, my blue one, when we came in, Kamani spooked at it because it was halfway down. That's fine, but the problem was she came in at me, and when I swung the whip at her to get her out, she wouldn't go out, so I had to tap up by her eye to get her out. And after that, she would not change directions with her face facing into me. So I was going to show you guys how I correct that issue.
Drive, step in front, and of course, now that I'm filming, she's going to turn in. But she was backing up. We've also been working on her real canter. I'll show you guys that. Nope.
So what I was explaining here is, if you guys have seen her previous canters, in her previous videos, they're pretty crappy and she's not really trying, so I'm explaining how I'm getting her to do her real canter by really pushing behind her and making her stretch out and use herself.
It's gonna be an angel. Pretty much what I was doing to correct it was I would automatically go at her butt if she wasn't gonna give me some sort of sign that she wanted to try. I even tried calling her in. Keep my arm out, keep up some pressure. There's her real canter. I'm just going to apply more pressure. She knows what it means, but she still likes to ignore it. So I'm going to show you how I would fix whoa on the ground with a bit in a saddle. Stop her on the circle. She tends to keep coming in until I fling the whip at her, and I keep flinging the whip, and she keeps coming, and when it touches her nose, she acts like a big old shock that, oh, this thing touched my nose. I got in trouble. So I'm going to lead her kind of around. You could use a whip, but if your horse knows how to move off the pressure of the bit and turn, it should walk with you. So I'm just going to walk her a little bit. Whoa. Pull back, and when she stops, I'm going to release. See how she's kind of flinchy here? That's probably because when she went around the flag, I told you guys I spanked at her eye to push her eye back out. That's probably what that is. I thought I desensitized, but I guess I didn't. So again, I'm just going to act like I'm leading her on a halter here. Kind of, I know you guys can't see here, just a second. Kind of pull, almost. When she comes forward, I'll leave her alone. Whoa. So we're going to do the other side. Just because I want to practice her roll, if I can't stop her on the ground, I can't stop her in the saddle. And we all know how that's going to end. So again, kind of lead her here a little bit. Now she's not as good as leading on this side. It's not something I practice a lot because it's my weaker side. So it's kind of both of our weaker sides. So I'm going to walk up to you guys. Ooh. There. See, I barely had to pick up on the reins. One thing I like to do, if I were to send her off here, her butt would be to me. So I like to kind of tap at her butt, pull her rein, and then send her out so her butt's not on me. So, that's another thing. She likes to stop if I stop moving and try to come in, which some people like. I personally don't. I want to be able to stand still in the middle if I can. Of course, she's not going to show you guys what she was doing. She's going to look like an angel on camera. That scared the crap out of me. So I do like to give them their cue when I change their directions so that they know what gates go in. I could have given her a cluck right there and had her gone straight into a canter. I could have given her the whoa and had her stop. There's a lot of different cues I could have given her. So let's try whoa. 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 You see how much effort that took to get her to stop? You see how I had to step in front and crack that whip? And most of the time she would have continued to go out or continued to come in. I'm going to reward her for standing there. Good girl. You see how worried she is? She's like, oh my God, Mom's on crack again. Okay. Right there, I actually had to spank her butt. She was kind of stalling. She sees my grandparents and my mom. I'm going to change her direction here. Try about that shoulder. The reason I'm getting after her is she's doing that slow fancy canter. Whoa. Whoa. Now when I say whoa, I want her to stop right on the fence. I don't want her coming in. So we're going to work on that. I want him to halt and put that butt in the ground right when I say it. So what I'm going to do, whoa, there. So I stepped in front and said it. Sometimes they'll change. It'll take them a while to get used to it. What you can do is put them on a halter and lean line. Whoa. And when you say whoa, pop that halter and lead line so they start to understand. We're going to practice whoa one more time. Add a canter, get a real canter, and try whoa one more time. Start her off at a trot. So she knows better. So I give her a couple seconds, and if she doesn't, then I give her the cue. And if I can reach her, I'll give her a little tap. Even if I can't reach her, I'll spank the ground and get after her. Whoa. Whoa. So I'm going to back her up. Whoa. Right before she touches that fence, I'll say whoa. I don't really like the turn in and face when I say whoa. A lot of people do. I don't. If you go back and watch Rose and Skyla's videos, when I said whoa, it was butt to the dirt and stop, and they stayed straight on the fence. That's something that she doesn't do that I wish she did, and it's just going to take time practicing. We're going to work on whoa here in a minute. Whoa. Another thing you can do, you can just walk with them and do it, or you can do it with the reins like I was showing you. Let's bring her this way. This is where your liberty comes into hand. Get up here with me. Whoa. Now, I'm okay with that one extra step. She has to do that to line herself up to make herself balance. See how soft she's going to be. Now, don't get me wrong, she's trying, but she's just given the minimal effort. Get her turned here, where you guys can see her being flexed. Again, I'm going to flap that stirrup. Kind of wake her up a little bit here. And how light is she going to be? That's pretty good. That's the lightest she's been on this side in a couple days. A couple days sometimes is good for them to have off. You know, I don't like to work them every single day extremely hard. If they're being naughty and not paying attention, not listening, oh yeah, I'll work them hard. But did you guys notice when I went to show you her issue? It's okay. Try that again. When I went to show you her issue, she stopped doing it. Because I had corrected it a couple times before I got you guys out, which I should have got you guys out first. That's my fault. But she corrected that issue, but she's still just not really awake. She's kind of like la-di-da-di-da. I like to work my horses every day if I can, but they're also animals, and they have their own agenda, their own lives, their own ways of doing things, their own mindsets. And I feel a couple days off a week, or even one day off a week, is good for their mental health. So I'm going to put my hand here, and just hold until she backs. Okay, she's not giving, so I'm going to tighten up a little bit. Some people say don't tighten up if they're not giving. Sometimes it depends on the person. I say if I'm giving her a little bit and she's completely ignoring me, I am teaching her to brace and ignore. If I'm giving her a little bit and she's not trying and I tighten up, I'm telling her you have a little bit of a time to figure out what I'm asking, or the pressure is going to increase. It's like, what are you looking at? It's like asking her for her canter. She's really slow until I get behind her and start pushing her, and then she's like, oh, I really need to move out. Mom's getting after me now. I'm bad at explaining things. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm going to hold here, see if she learned anything from the last time. Did she? Yes, she did. I didn't have to tighten that time. Now, eventually I'd like her where I pick up like that and she backs, but we're not going to get there overnight. And I always like to do a day of refreshing before I move on to anything else that week. So hold. She's kind of ignoring, so I'm going to tighten. Now I tighten one rein and then the other. And the reason I do that is she'll start to pick up, oh, well, when she does this, the reins are going to get tighter. And she'll start to feel me pick up that first rein. And she'll start to try and start backing up more. Let's work on flexing from the opposite side here. So she's ignoring, she's ignoring, she's ignoring. I'm going to bump there. I don't know what she sees. I don't see anything. I'm going to not worry about it, and I'm just going to bump and ask her for her head. Good. I want it super soft, just like when I flexed her a second ago. There, I had to really bump on her and get after her. She's fighting here. She's pulling here. There. Again, I won't end until I can get there. Nice suppleness. See how good that was? She's like, okay, if I don't give, I'm going to get a little bit more pressure. And I don't want a little bit more pressure. Do ya? Do ya? So, I like to use my saddle horn because I'm short. And if they touch the stirrup, like I'm going to bump here. Sometimes when she touches that stirrup, I told you guys, she kind of jumps and forgets it's there. If I use my saddle horn and stand out here, if she goes to jump, I'm out of the way. There. Now I'm having to bump quite a bit, but that I love. She kept her head in. She didn't snatch it back. So again, here, I'm going to pressure, pressure, pressure. Wait for her to touch that stirrup. There. Close enough. The last thing we're going to work on is our neck reining. Now, part of her neck reining, the reason she's getting it so well is because she's taught liberty. She's taught to follow me and pay attention to me. So I'm just having to pick up that rein and lay it on her neck. You don't have to teach liberty. I showed you guys how to teach it without doing liberty in a different video. So there's different ways of teaching it. But I just feel like it's going to help her when I get on her. Because she's already going to know what I'm asking. So she knows to yield the hindquarters if I walk at them. And she knows to follow. There. That's going to end today's video. I was hoping to show you how I was fixing her little I don't want to attitude. I did get to show you some things, but not the one thing, the main thing that I wanted to show you. I'm not going to work on stirrups tonight. It's getting colder. It's getting crisper. It's about 5 o'clock. It's their feeding time. And I got the corrections that I needed out of her, meaning that when I corrected her, it may have taken a time or two, but she started to get it. So if she was still ignoring me and not trying, we'd still be working on the lunging or the rampeting. If she wasn't flexing or backing, we'd still be working on that. I work on it until it's good for a couple times,